Yellow.
Yo.
I was waiting to hear the fucking beat.
Haven't said this in a while. How we doing?
It's football week.
It's been a minute. All right. Welcome back to another episode of our fantasy edition of the Hot Route show. It's been a minute. A lot has happened since we've seen everyone last. Both with our drafts, NFL news, our channel, our trivia.
Yeah,
everything.
A lot.
First of all, I'm Eli. He's Matt. If we've ever really introduced ourselves before, I think it's kind of just been inferred at this point. Or
no, we've thrown it out there. What if we got someone new?
Yeah. If it's your first time watching, you're coming in at a good time.
Matt, Eli.
Yep. So we got a show today for you. We're back. It's been, I think, at least a week.
It's been 2 weeks 2 weeks since we recorded.
So like almost like a week and a half.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I think we recorded the Tuesday before we left.
So like I said, a lot has happened. We have news to catch you up on. We have our draft.
So much news
to kind of recap. We'll talk about our teams and some other things that we remember from the draft weekend that we just had. And we also have a segment today of just kind of our surefire guys, kind of guys that we want to plant our flag on, either our favorite guys to draft this season or just our favorite players in general. So we'll kind of talk about those guys. We got 3 each for you, but a lot of news. So before that, just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching our shorts, our videos. I think the last time we did a fantasy episode, we had around 60 or 70 subs, and now we're almost at 130.
Yeah, 75, like 120, 125. So
yeah, so that's insane.
Almost doubled.
Definitely didn't expect that.
Shorts are obviously carrying some heavy weight.
There are sleepers.
This guy's shorts. He's at like 20,000, like 3 different videos.
We're pumping out content.
He's just catching L's too.
Yeah, a lot of L's, but a lot of views.
Not in trivia though. I'm catching the L's.
But yeah, no, just we'll catch you up on all the news. It's pretty much, I think, the first thing we're going to get into.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Matt took care of all the news this time, so a lot of this will be my first time reading it.
There's probably so much more. I kind of just put, maybe it's a little subjective, but I put like, there's definitely
only Washington Commander news in here.
There's definitely ones in here that are juicy to talk about because it's going to actually impact fantasy. There's some other ones in here that, unless you're a Saints fan or maybe a couple of these other teams, it's not really relevant. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. There's some ones that we'll probably stop and talk about though, because some of them are juicy.
That being said, we'll get into the news right now.
Let's do it.
News team, assemble!
Number 1 was actually one of our first shorts that was non-trivia related.
Oh, yeah. So I kind of went from longest to go to
most recent.
Yeah. So towards the end, it'll be, but it's
like the last 2 weeks.
This is like the first thing that, we saw when we left.
So Brian Robinson was traded from the Manders to the 49ers, which everyone probably knows already. There's been a lot of Bill stock. What's his name? Corey Krosky Merritt.
Yep. And he's made it clear that he wants to be called Bill.
Bill.
Because he looked like Little Bill.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Kid show.
So yeah, I've done a couple drafts since this news. This guy has been going in much different places in our guillotine draft. Did he even get drafted? He might have not. But this in the draft I just did tonight, I think he went fairly high.
I think he was nominated in Gee.
Okay. He went fairly high. It was like before round 10. So that backfield, out of all the storylines and question marks around the league with the mystery backfields, this one I'm not really excited about for whatever reason. I don't really know your thoughts with Eckler
No, I was never once drafting
McLaughlin,
him.
or wasn't it McLaughlin? It's McNichols.
Oh, on the Commanders,
Yeah.
yeah. Jeremy McNichols.
And Bill, of course. I don't know. It smells like a committee to me because Eckler's he's going to be involved no matter what in the passing game. And if this guy and freaking whatever the guy just said, McNichols, if they split time, and they have another guy too,
Chris
Rodriguez. So that's kind of a backfield I want to stay away from. I don't even know why this guy is getting that much hype, to be honest. He's a 7th round draft pick. I think it's just kind of a cool story, but I'd rather go elsewhere.
We could obviously be wrong about it, but yeah, I'm with you. I haven't even looked. I'm more so like if I have to take a Commanders running back, I mean I never have to, but if I'm going to, I'll just take Eckler out of value.
Mhm.
He actually went in our main. I want to say Rick took him, but
that's an outlier.
But
he's living 3 years ago.
I mean, I think he should be drafted regardless because
Bill or
Eckler.
Yeah, for sure. I think they both should be drafted.
Just from he was like one of the highest like points per touch last year for like RB2s, and
especially in a PPR league.
Yeah, PPR league. I'll take the value. It's double digit rounds, so like give me Eckler, and like I said, we could be wrong on Bill. He could be a top 24 running back for all we know, and we'll just have to eat that. But it's like we don't know anything about him. He's a 7th round pick. A lot of what we take from teams are like, all right, you say it all the time, guys that are the team put high stock in. Like if you're a 1st round pick, 2nd round pick, even 3rd round pick,
makes you more confident in drafting them.
Yeah, 7th round pick.
He's kind of just next.
They didn't even probably want him. They're just like, oh, 7th round, we'll take this guy.
If anything, they might have just thought their backfield was too crowded, or maybe they just saw some spark from this guy that they liked.
I figured they were just like
that was good enough to get rid of Brian Robinson.
Yeah, whatever Brian Robinson was getting paid. And obviously, that was a cool story. Got shot, came back. It's also under a different regime. That was under, I think, Ron Rivera.
Right.
But they were probably just thinking like, we don't need Brian Robinson. Like, he doesn't do anything.
Jaden's going to be running a lot too.
He doesn't do anything that like is crazy good for the team. So they're probably just like, we'll just do a committee or throw chips in on this Bill guy, and if they have to, they'll just lean on Eckler or something and use him in the passing work.
Right. Staying on the Manders, Terry McLaurin finally signed his deal. So this kind of just
good for all parties.
Yeah, reassures everything with that Washington offense with Jaden. Debo kind of gets put in a place where you kind of know what he will be. And that's another thing we didn't mention is that, maybe they've seen stuff from Debo that they like him coming out of the backfield a little bit more and just giving him a little more carries. The Brian Robinson carries maybe going to him.
Yeah, even like the goal line carries.
But this is great. It's great for Terry, great for fantasy players, great for Jaden. AOC, Aiden O'Connell from the Raiders fractured his wrist in Kenny Pickett got traded.
Yeah.
To the Raiders.
O'Connell's out like 6 to 8 weeks. Obviously, no impact there for fantasy, but he is the backup. So if anything were to happen to Geno, it sounds like it's going to be
gross.
Kenny P.
Going to be awful
coming in.
Yeah. They also re-signed Amari Cooper, staying on the Raiders, and then Jacoby Myers is still up in the air. He wants out, but I never cared about this guy.
I said in an earlier pod, it was probably like one of our first ones. I was just like, I even read a stat, like it was like one of 6 players to have a certain amount of catches and 1,000 yards, and it was like him. He was up there. And I think I even said he seems to be fine with his role. Like he just goes out there and plays, and then this comes out, and I'm like, oh, all right, I was wrong. He wants to get paid like a wide receiver 1, apparently.
Well, he is the wide receiver 1, so I guess that makes sense. But the Raiders, they're the Raiders, and another full PPR guy would probably have some value there, but it's gross. Vikings made a couple moves. They traded Sam Howell to the Eagles and signed Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Flash from the past.
That's an interesting one.
Flash from the past? Blast from the past? Blast from the past. They also got Adam Thielen back. Talk about from the past. From the Panthers. So I think that's kind of more interesting for Panthers, as I'm kind of thinking about this for the first time, because Thielen, where he was old, and you can make all the jokes you want about him. I feel like Bryce and him had a few games last year where he at least had some big games. So that means they either are really in on Tet McMillan, which I mean, all signs have been, yeah.
Yeah, it's that. And Thielen has already indicated that this is probably his last year. He started in Minnesota, where he was from.
Yeah.
I think he said when he got traded, like he's got a home out there. He wants to have his family out there. That's where it all started. And he actually said that he credits Bryce for his kind of resurgence. And I think he credited Bryce like for being able to get traded back to Minnesota. Yeah, that's interesting because obviously he played 1 year, I think, with Jettas, 22.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he was there in 21.
I think he was there for a couple of years.
Jettas was there in 21, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wait.
He was.
He's 20.
20.
So he's there 3 years with
2 or 3.
Yeah, he was. So, yeah, I think that's
and with Addison not being
Addison not going to be there
for 3 weeks.
I don't know. I look at Thielen just based on last year. He kind of reminds me of like another vet like Keenan Allen. I think he's just a safe third down, like
red zone guy,
and just possession guy. I feel like he's got really good hands. Like
it'll be good for JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for him if JJ is going to be who we think he's going to be. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, the Panthers, we've mentioned it on the pod. They got so many guys there.
Coker, Leggett.
Well, Coker was put on IR.
Yep.
So Leggett's there. Yeah, they got Tet. They got who's the other guy?
Receiver?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not remembering right now.
Anyone meaningful that comes to mind, but it just makes me think that they're more all in on Tet.
Yeah.
Because Thielen was a decent amount of targets.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon has been hurt the whole offseason, and it just doesn't really look good.
Yeah,
he's been placed on not on the PUP list, but it was like the physically unable to
it was NFI
like
list.
NFI list. That's the PUP list.
Yeah. And
so he's going to be out at least the first 4 weeks, but it doesn't look even better than that.
There's been murmurs that he might not play this season. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's I read something that I don't know if it was just a tweet that someone was saying like it could be what's that injury? Liz Frank injury.
Liz Frank, yeah.
It's like a broken bone on like.
We're not doctors.
So yeah, it
doesn't sound good though.
Doesn't sound good, especially as a running back. All that cutting, like there's no way that sounds like it's going to be.
Not like he's getting any younger either.
Yeah. So as far as the running backs there, you got Dameon Pierce who's been there for who knows how long, and then you got.
I think this would be his 3rd or 4th year.
They just brought in Chubb, and they drafted Woody Marks. So it sounds like it's Chubb.
Might be Chubb to start. They might lean on maybe someone else if that doesn't go well, which from everything that I've read, he doesn't look great. Chubb. Like him being able to move around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did read like a couple weeks ago that there was some preseason or practice videos that went out there, and he didn't look bad when he was running, but yeah, he looked terrible last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, full off season, and he's at least healthy from the start, so we'll see. He could be a good first quarter of the season guy if he would go 0 RB, just throw him in there to start. And he might fall into the end zone with that good offense a couple times. So that's definitely that's a backfield I'm more interested in than the Washington one for whatever reason. I feel like that one is just Washington's a little more murky. Where I think this is kind of a clear thing. If Chubb doesn't work out, they might just give someone else the work.
For ADP, probably, because if you're still drafting, the Krosky Merritt guy is just going too high for my comfort level. Yeah. Whereas I feel like Chubb, it's probably different now because like when we drafted, there was no new Mixon wasn't put on any list as of that time.
Right. Which is
I drafted Mixon in our league. I think it was like 10th, 9th, 10th round. So I was like, I already had 2 running backs. 3 running backs actually. And I was like, if he comes back, he was RB1 last year for like first 2/3 of the season, felt
Right.
like.
Yeah, it's a wait and see. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, if you need someone you're in a pinch or you go 0 RB, you could throw Chubb in there for at least a couple weeks, see what happens.
I like Chubb to start. I also like stashing
Woody,
Yeah, just to see. Because there's been a lot of talk of him.
0 chance of Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, no.
Titans, Tajay Spears was put on IR, will miss at least the first 4 games of the year. We brought up Tony Pollard. I forget what it was. It was on some episode.
Value pick.
I think, was it the value pick? I think it was.
At the time, it was 8th round.
Was it my value pick?
Yeah, which is probably higher now.
Yeah, so talk about if you're not going running back early, he would be a guy that I'd be completely fine throwing in like as my first running back. If you if you get him as your RB2, I feel like that's awesome. But if you want to go 0 RB, load up on receivers early and just throw him in later, like what is it, 7th, 8th, 9th round, go ahead. Because he's going to have it all to himself, at least for the first part of the year. And Tajay just can't stay healthy. It's kind of been a theme of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Najee Harris, Pirate Najee, is moved back to the active roster. I've seen a few posts about this, actually, that they're excited to have both of them back. So I know there's been a lot of hype for Amarian Hampton in our league. I think he went in the 3rd round in a super flex with keepers. And in the league that I just drafted tonight, he went pretty high too. So when this first happened, they drafted him and they got Najee. My first instinct was like, oh, wow, Najee's going to do really good in that offense with Jim, because obviously in Pittsburgh, their offense was never really great, to be honest. So Najee could come in there and mess some of that up, I think, for Hampton. And you've mentioned before on a previous episode where it was Greg Roman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that he has never really had a workhorse, or he's never had good fantasy success with running backs. So I know everyone loves this rookie, but don't be surprised as Najee just walks out there at the first snap of week 1.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the case with all the rookie running backs outside of Genty. I think like this is a very similar situation with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dobbins gets the nod first.
That one I think is more like for sure to start the year at least. This one, it's like Najee has been hurt and feel like Hampton has been with the first stringers and has all this hype, but now who knows? There's a few more question marks now.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Saints, Spencer Rattler has been named the starter for week 1 and not Tyler Shuck. I will get that right this time.
Shuff.
How does this matter for fantasy at all, if at all?
For me, not at all. But I guess if you got Olave out there, I would imagine, dude, I don't even know. I didn't watch many Rattler games, but
I did. He's trash.
Well, I would imagine Kamara's probably better with Rattler.
I think as far as a PPR option, Kamara, I'm more scared for Olave and Shaheed than I am Kamara, because he's just going to get the predetermined pre-play, like first read dump offs, because he's always been like that. And I think with these two young guys, they're going to do a lot of that to kind of get the offense going a little bit. But we already didn't really like Olave. Shaheed had a lot of success with Carr on the deep ball, but I don't know if it's going to be anything close.
Picked up Shaheed in our league
to these two guys. So I'm more scared for the receivers than I am Kamara. I think Kamara is still a safe PPR option. I actually wanted to get him as my RB1 in the PPR draft I had tonight. Couldn't get him, but yeah, definitely in the pass catching game. I don't know about touchdowns, but he'll give you a nice floor. The Jags.
This is an interesting one.
I didn't really even. Oh wait, no, I did see this. It was in our group chat at some point. They traded for Tim Patrick, and that just adds to the receiving room there. Does this really just help Lawrence overall? And
I don't know. I mean, I kind of put in there, is this like, are they not believing in Hunter as much as they thought?
I don't know. Probably just depth, because they didn't really have that many guys. What was there? Like Parker Washington, and I don't even know who else they have. So maybe just some depth.
It's just weird because
I was already out on Hunter anyway.
Patrick was good last year.
In spots, certain spots.
Yeah.
At least scoring touchdowns.
Goes to the Lions after getting cut from Denver. He has a couple games later in the year, scores like 3-4 touchdowns, something like that.
Right.
And then you were hearing a lot of talk about this third rounder that the Lions drafted, Tesla, that he's impressing in camp. He's moving up the depth chart. They're saying that he's right there, third with Patrick, and then they end up trading Patrick. So that just shows the Lions really believe in this guy.
Yep.
And then as far as the Jags, like, I don't know.
I see that as just a piece for
maybe they just want a
for their
vet.
offense.
They want a vet there.
Yeah, that's what I see it as. Because he's not going to come in there and demand targets away from Hunter or BTJ or anything. I think it's just a depth piece for their offense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to me. I have no sources on this, but like I looked at it as like maybe they're not as high on Hunter, or I know he's been hurt. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. And yeah, I mean, they have Parker Washington. I know he's like not fantasy relevant really, but I don't know. Is he just ass? And they're like, yeah, let's bring in this guy for, like you said, depth, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think. We'll see, though. And you brought up Tesla.
It doesn't matter. Trevor sucks.
You brought up Tesla. I wanted to add him in Dynasty. He went undrafted in our 3-round rookie draft.
So did I, and I think Thub did.
I think he added him for, like, not much. It was, like, maybe $20 or, like, $15, and I put 10. I didn't see you put him.
No, I didn't. I just...
yeah.
I remember when I first asked you, because you hadn't put in our rookies yet, I was looking at the waivers and I was listening to a couple of pods and his name kept coming up and I was like, maybe I'll just go throw a dart on this guy. My team is awful. Took over for another guy's team. Just absolutely no.
Sometimes that's more fun.
No top tier talent at all. I think I have like one guy, Josh Jacobs.
Genty.
Yeah, I drafted him. But like,
what you get? You got Tet too?
I got Tet.
Yeah.
I got Genty, I got Mason Taylor, and I got Colson Loveland. 2 tight ends.
Solid.
But yeah, when I had messaged you that, it's because I saw him. Well, first I saw Warren, and I was like, did you input all the rookies?
Yeah.
And
I was waiting on one guy.
You were like, no. And I was like, okay, this must be the last guy's team. But then I saw him, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to. And then I just didn't put a bid on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time I looked, he was gone. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
I was going to throw in some cash.
He's not going to be like super relevant, but in a dynasty league, sure. All right, here we go. Rashee Rice suspended for the first 6 games of the year.
Yeah, you could take over this one.
Yeah. So we
tell the peeps what you did.
We had our draft, our main league draft. When will this be posted? So not this past weekend, but the weekend before.
This will be Tuesday. So
basically 2 weeks before, or actually, yeah, 2 weeks before the season started. I drafted Rashee Rice in, what was it, the 6th or 7th round, something like that, assuming that he was going to play the first 4 weeks of the year, because that's what the reports I was seeing. I mean, at that point, looking back, knowing that now, I would have taken Worthy for sure. But I wanted 2 guys. I wanted 2 guys at that pick, and they both got taken right before. So I was like, screw it. I'll just take Rice. I already had 2 receivers at the time, so I thought I could maybe get off to a hot start.
It was J-Mo and Garrett, right? Wilson?
Yeah. And
I wanted one of those guys too.
Yeah, he was my flex, so it's not the end of the world. Definitely sucks. If I would have the chance, I would have redid that, but it is what it is. And as far as impacting the Chiefs, I think for sure helps everyone else, the pass catchers at least, not Mahomes. But I think Worthy was going to be the same no matter what. This is just my opinion. As far as like the plays they run for him, he wasn't really the Rashee Rice type of route runner. More of just like design plays out of the backfield, deep shots, things like that. I think this helps Kelsey more, to be honest, as like far as those short, intermediate routes to start the year. I'm sure they're both will obviously.
I'll save my thoughts because he's one of my guys. Teaser.
Oh yeah. No, I mean he's gonna be good. I'm just saying, as far as when Rice is not there,
definitely helps Kelsey for sure.
They're both gonna feel the impact, like a little bit of a bump, because those targets got to go somewhere. But I think this kind of just gives Kelsey more of a clear, hot start to the year.
Who's their wide receiver 2 now? Juju?
Juju's still there. Hollywood Brown is there.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown. Yeah.
He's always hurt, so God.
Apparently he's healthy. I read that. So yeah, those are their wide receiver 2 and 3s.
Yeah, so going forward, if you haven't drafted yet, I think Rasheed is at least, like, don't take him as your wide receiver 3. If you get him as your 4, I think I'm okay with that. So what is that? Maybe like 8th, 9th, 10th round, something around there. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, he's coming off an ACL injury too. So like I was never drafting him.
Yeah.
But Chiefs offense, Mahomes, he looked good in the games he played last year before he got hurt, before Mahomes took him out. But yeah, it was the tackle, remember?
Oh, is that Mahomes that?
Yeah, he threw a pick and then he went to go tackle.
Oh, I forget who he ran over.
He went to go like tackle the guy running, and I think he either like dove out of bounds or
right.
And then Rashee Rice was just standing there and he just went.
I forgot
right
if that was
knee.
Mahomes or not.
Yeah,
All right.
if you play in I don't know how many people do, but like we've played in it's only our second year, right? Doing the guillotine.
Yeah.
So if you play in a guillotine
Definitely
league,
don't take in.
take Kelsey.
Yeah.
I think that's good value right there for sure. Because like obviously you want to last as long as possible, so you can kind of save your money on tight end. Just go for Kelsey because I think early on for sure it's going to help him.
Right. Malik Neighbors wants everyone to relax, as he said his preseason / camp injuries were minor.
Yeah, he says the back was minor because that came up after we were told it was toe injury. And then they said there was another thing and it was back. Yeah, he says he's fine. All signs is he'll be there in 7 days. So
he's had a few injuries so far. I'm not entirely. I mean, he's a great talent, but I don't know if I would rely on him to be your wide receiver 1.
No, yeah, all the guys that around him I were taking above him.
Yeah.
I was taking London, Nico,
just
BTJ,
purely because of injury.
Puka.
I mean, obviously the talent is there, and he's gonna get peppered with targets, but
yeah, it was injury, but for me it was just the Giants. Like all the other guys.
Sure.
It kind of, I don't know. I like BTJ because he was really good last year. I brought up before that his numbers like skyrocketed when freaking Mac Jones went in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's just interesting because I don't think the Jags are necessarily great. And so they kind of see them the same, whereas like I don't think their teams are good. I'll take Trevor over Wilson at this stage, obviously, of his career. But yeah, those if I was in a draft and like all those guys that I mentioned were there, because I feel like they're kind of like that next tier of guys: London, Neighbors, BTJ, Nico. Like it's Nico for me all the way, and then London probably, and then I think it's just I'd probably go BTJ, just because the injury, and then just the Giants, they might be poo poo,
like really bad.
Yeah.
So this next thing I haven't really seen yet, but Dolphins GM admits that the team is going through a reset after years of spending.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means, as you mentioned, starting over in the direction as they want younger players.
Yeah, so he kind of just almost like accepted blame or fault that, or just he said it's really hard to spend, and then try and keep doing it, and when you're not successful. So it's interesting because I mentioned here guys like Tyreek and Tua, they're not necessarily younger guys that he is probably referring to.
Mm-hmm.
So if it just goes to what we've been saying, like if they start out 1-5 or something like that,
fired.
I think McDaniel's gone. I think Tyreek will get traded. And as far as Tua, I mean, I don't know his contract situation. I don't know how many years he's got. I know he signed a pretty good one a couple years ago, right? When
he signed a 4-year extension last year.
Yeah, so I don't know if just Tua's their guy. But I mean, if they start out 1-5, it's like you might as well. The GM's already saying they want to go younger guys. Tua's got the injury history.
Yeah, there's so many things that can go wrong there.
Achan's young, obviously.
We saw signs of it last year, and
they drafted Ollie Gordon.
Yeah. So we'll see. That one's a ticking time bomb for sure. And lastly, big trade in the NFC. So Micah Parsons was traded to the Packers for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. This is just classic Jerry, in my opinion, just being difficult and not wanting to play ball for whatever reason.
Yep.
I love this for Arrogance. Dak. I love this for the offense, for fantasy purposes. I hate this for the team itself. I mean, literally, when you are in the NFL draft, Micah Parsons is the maybe even like more important or equally as a good staple quarterback, is a pass rusher, elite pass rusher. So don't really know the thought process there, but this is just going to mean that I think the offense is going to have to throw and throw and throw more than they were already, because they are not going to be able to run the ball.
It's funny when you go back and read, like I read it to you last night. Like the week we were leaving for the trip, like the last update we had was their head coach Schottenheimer was very confident that Michael will be there week 1.
Psych.
And then not even 2 weeks later, he's gone.
You thought, Brian?
Yeah, it's just even the coaches don't know what's happening behind.
You never know with Jerry, to be fair. But yeah, so that's all the news we had. That was a lot. I think we covered everything that was substantial.
I mean, something I just read before here was that Dak came out today and said that forget the word, the adjective he used, but I think he
was surprised. I saw some other quotes from Dak, and he said he was shocked. Like he thought that deal would get done for sure.
But he also said he was satisfied that it's over with, basically. That it's done.
I agree with that. Just move on, and
I mean, because Dak's the same. It's also just being a Cowboy, and like you said, Jerry, but Dak's had the same issues. Are they going to pay him money?
Ham CD.
Like Dak's had the contract issues like a couple years ago where they're like Jerry was not sold on him being the guy to lead them to a Super Bowl.
Just needs to go away. He likes to take his time on all these things, make us wait, as he's the center of attention.
He's old.
Yeah.
You give an old guy a mic, and you don't know which way they're going to go.
Yep. All right.
You ready?
Ready. So our surefire players, these are our guys for the season. Nothing to really do with value, nothing to do with anything else that we've talked about. It's just that these are the guys that are our favorite guys for the year, the guys we want everyone to get to take this ride with us. So the channel will succeed or crash and burn off the success or failure from these guys.
Yeah, we didn't really go with a structured thing here. We just kind of thought of 3 guys. Like we didn't do a quarterback, running back, wide receiver. We just thought of 3 guys, and that's what we put down. So that's who we're riding with. You want to go first?
I'll go first. I've talked about this guy a lot. I think he's been the most consistent guy I've talked about the whole offseason, as someone that I've want on my team and someone that I think is in a good situation to succeed. The team I have questioned as far as the pieces they've added, the direction they're going, people they've lost, and just where they are in the division.
Fired their offensive coordinator after like a decent good year.
Yep. And they went with I'm trying to not say it. They went with more of a pass happy scheme to a run happy scheme from 24 to 25. Ken Walker. So I know it's
got to be out there.
I know he's had multiple injuries. He played 11 games last year, 15 each the last 2 years before. So I think just a little, I'm just going to say bad luck. How about that? How about that for all you haters of Ken Walker out there? Bad injury luck.
Yeah, you look at the advanced stats, and he's awesome. He's got great grades. Like he's a hard runner.
Even with Charbonnet there, and even if they do split, I just think that this new scheme, the Kubiak scheme, the run offense, and them kind of maybe switching gears. They lost Geno. They're bringing in Darnold. They lost DK Metcalf and brought in Cooper Kupp. I'm not super pumped about that for their passing attack. I'm sure they're thinking JSN, as he kind of did last year from the season started until the end. He slowly took over as the number one in the offense.
Maybe Kupp's a good blocker.
He is, actually. I've read about that before, but no, I'm super in on Ken Walker, especially if you can get him as your RB2. He's not going super high in drafts, and I just think he's set up for success this year in an offense where I think him and Charbonnet are going to be featured a lot more than they were last year.
Yeah, I like Ken Walker. The team has also made it very clear that they like Charbonnet as well. So
yes,
that's an interesting one.
Yep. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's just when I see Walker play versus other guys, he's just such a tough runner. He can catch the ball. He's good on the goal line. He's pretty much just everything you want. It's just the injuries have been, he's a big play guy. His rookie year, he had multiple 50-plus yard runs for touchdowns. It's just the injuries. So I'm banking on last year was kind of a wash as far as him being hurt because he played 15 games at least the previous 2 years. So come on, Ken. Let's do it. And I got him too on my team this year.
Playing the Niners week 1.
2 touchdowns.
I was going to say, you want to throw out a
line?
For not necessarily yards or stats, but like
fantasy finish.
Yeah,
give me a top 15 finish.
So he's at least a RB2,
and I'll say he'll finish as a top 12 running back by the end of the year. How about that?
So borderline RB1.
Yeah, where I think he's going a little bit later than that right now.
Good pick.
All right, who you got?
All right, my first guy. We mentioned him earlier. I went with Xavier Worthy. The obvious there, Rashee Rice suspended. So you think more targets there to distribute from Mahomes. I'll put a few things in here that it caught our attention last year, and I think we were kind of thinking like, oh, I mean, rookie, right? Rookie last year?
Yeah.
The way he was featured.
Texas?
The way he was featured, end of the year, into the playoffs. I have in here. Final 3 weeks last year, touchdown of the regular season. Touchdown in all 3 games. One of them was a rushing touchdown, but touchdown in all 3 games. Targets of 9, 11, and 11. Didn't do much in the first round versus the Texans, their first round. I think he had like 5 for like 45. So it wasn't nothing to drool over, but AFC Championship game, he went 6 for 85 and a touchdown. And then obviously the Super Bowl was the Super Bowl. Chiefs got smacked. But he did go 8 for 157 and 2 tugs. So talk about ending all he could do in that game. But yeah, and just expecting a leap for him to get better from his rookie year. I think going into last year, I was like, is this guy just going to be like a McCole Hardman type beat? Because they've had him a while. I didn't really know how much, because going into last year, I feel like Rashee Rice was, I think people were high on him, and then obviously they were still high on Kelsey. And then he had the year he had, but he looked out of shape. Like Kelsey looked bad last year. So I don't know. We'll see with how Kelsey looks, but yeah, I mean, I'm all in on Worthy. I put my money where my mouth was in the draft, and I took him. Although I was going with J-Mo that round if he slipped to me, because he was another guy. Like if I would have got him, it probably would have been him here, just because I have him.
Yeah, I like both of them. No, I agree. I think Worthy is something.
And I got him at my wide receiver 3. No, I took him second because I took Devontae Smith after.
Right.
But I have him in my flex currently. So like I think I don't know, he's just big play guy. I think he's for sure going to have weeks where he's going to give you wide receiver 1 numbers, not like the overall number 1 receiver, but 1 to 10, like that first tier of wide receiver 1s. He's going to give you weeks of that. And maybe early on, like it could just, he's one of those guys too, where I was just like, I talk about like, I want to start off the season hot. And I think he was one of those prime guys where I was just like, if Rice is out, it's only going to elevate his stock even more. So
Right.
that's why I went with Worthy. How you feeling about it?
No, I love it. He's a guy that I think on our first episode I brought up as was my candidate to go into the top 10 of receivers.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All
So
right. So we're in sync.
Yeah. No, I'm in. Like I said, if I had the chance again, knowing the Rashee Rice situation, I would have taken him for sure.
And you gave a line for Walker, so I will also say Xavier Worthy will finish. I like that same line.
Top 12, top 15,
top 15, top 12.
That would be a dub.
Yeah, top 12 would be absolutely a dub.
I'd say 15 would be a dub.
But anything, because I always like, if you get a guy, I always think this is funny. Like I do it with my team all the time, where like obviously you have 2 running backs you start every week, 2 wide receivers, and then a flex. So that flex is like either a running back 3 or wide receiver 3. And I always look at my guy's scores and I'm like, all right, well, he technically was a wide receiver 2 that week, but it was like 20th in the position. So like I look at it as like if he's on the front half of that wide receiver 2, then I'm even more like proud of it or satisfied. So that's why I think anything in that front half of the wide receiver 2 range where he's almost like bordering wide receiver 1, then I'd be thrilled.
I think with him, you're just looking for more consistency and obviously he was a rookie going to his second year.
Yeah, like I want to see 8 targets at least every game.
Yeah, he could do everything. Especially the Chiefs need him too as the deep play guy. They currently don't really have anyone besides him that can do that. They scheme up plays for him out of the backfield.
So like how many times last year was it like 4 catches for 48 yards?
Yeah, I mean, you can contribute that to. I mean, Rice was there. Well, he was only played a few games, but he's a rookie.
Rookie.
So he went through a whole playoff run with them. He's more integrated in the offense now. Like
Mahomes also wasn't great last year.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I love that pick.
All right, who's your second?
All right, my second. I'm pretty much taking this guy everywhere I can. The offense itself is very questionable, but we've talked in previous episodes about these late tight ends that you can get that the last 2 years we've seen. Granted, they were more, well, one was more prolific than the other. Late round tight ends, rookies, finish as the tight end 1 overall. First round pick by the Colts. He's going to be out there every play. I feel like we talked about draft capital. You spend a first round pick on a tight end. He's going to be out there and you're going to use him a lot. Tyler Warren.
He could be all over the field too.
Tyler Warren from the Colts. I guess it's a lie. I think I'd rather have Dimers in there for him rather than Anthony Richardson. I think in either situation, he's a nice security blanket to have. I've watched some highlights of this guy from Penn State, and he is a beast. And
long hair.
They used a first round pick on him when they already had a gazillion tight ends. So clearly they just like, we want this guy. He's the best player available in an offense where they really don't have a number 1 option. I mean, Pittman and Downs are what they are.
I think it's Pittman, but he's just I don't know. Pittman gets shit on.
He has a great it's a lot to do with the passing attack.
Yeah.
But I think that Warren has a really nice floor. You can get him super late. I've seen him going a little higher lately when I've done a couple of different drafts. But we've said in pretty much most episodes, including our mock drafts, that you can pass on the early tight end and target a couple guys late. And this is one of the guys.
Yeah, one of the first mocks we did, and like early into doing rankings and like researching and all that, it was Loveland, like who was higher. And then Warren was there too.
I think they were around the same-ish spot.
Loveland, just because they brought in
more exciting.
They brought in what's his name?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. I was gonna say Zach Johnson. It's like a golfer. Bring in Ben Johnson. People are still like high on Caleb for whatever reason.
I mean, that offense looks more exciting right now than Indy.
And then I think one preseason game or like maybe it was 2, where Warren was out there with all the starters.
He came out with all the starters.
And then everyone was just like, his ADP just started going up. Literally from the next
Looked
time,
good in the games too.
the next time we did our mock, I think he went up like 3 rounds or something like that. And I was like, oh, now it's Warren Loveland.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he was also someone I got in our main league draft too. So I was happy about that. But yeah, it's the same thing as you're not really wasting a high pick on this guy. So,
Top 10 tight end.
as far as a line, I'll say top 8. How about that?
Okay. So he's
I feel
starting
pretty
every
good.
week.
Oh yeah. I mean, once you get past the first 3, I think you can make a case to start any tight end, to be honest. Maybe the second tier guys like Laporta and Joku.
What if Dimers goes out like week 3?
Hawkinson. For Tyler Warren's sake, I wouldn't like that, but even if Richardson is in, I see them still scheming up plays for this guy, like easy pass catches. I feel like he's going to be more of a PPR guy rather than a
Their offensive
touchdown
coordinator,
threat.
he's already said that they're scheming all kinds of plays for him.
Yeah, I don't see him as like a Mark Andrews type. I see him as where maybe he relies on more touchdowns. I see like them scheming up easy catches.
It's like a Jonnu from last year.
Sure. Or like a budget Kelsey. How about that? All right, who's your second guy?
Second guy, I'm also going with a rookie. A lot of it just has to do with there's nobody there outside of the GOAT of our generation. I've always loved Mike Evans. Spoiler, it's the Bucks. I went with Egbuka. He was definitely a guy I wanted to target in our main draft. He went really early.
Well, like the 6th, 7th round?
Dude, Mike got him and Ted, and I think Ted, he went like 4th round or something like that. It was early. Because when we did our mocks, like Egbuka's ADP was like 11th, 12th round. I was just like, dude, give me that all day because Godwin's going to be out. Baker's hyped him up.
8th
round.
Mm-hmm.
When did Ted go?
2 rounds earlier, the same team, round 6.
Yeah. So obviously, I didn't get him in the draft, as we just said, but
we've talked about him all.
We've talked about him. We've done our mocks. Like he was kind of just hiding way down there in the rankings. And then now you got Godwin. It's been confirmed out at least 4 weeks. I believe the coach said that they're targeting week 5 at the earliest, so it could be even more. Because you got to think you're out. I don't know if that means like he's out 4 weeks. Because
Godwin?
Well, he's out 4 weeks, but I read that they're not putting him on IR. So he's going to be practicing every week. So they're using up a roster spot for a guy who's not playing for at least a month.
I am all out on Godwin this year, and I am all in
Godwin
on the Bucks, I mean, that just shows how much I'm in on Egbuka as well. I just think they just paid Godwin, but he's going to be out 4 weeks, and I just don't see him coming back right then and contributing right away.
Well, that's the interesting thing.
Seems like a second half guy.
He's not going on IR. That's why I thought this was interesting.
Uh-huh.
He's taking up a roster spot, so he's going to be practicing every week.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that like, okay, they want him back week 5. It's one thing if he's on IR.
Yeah.
Then he comes off. Then he's got to practice. He's got to ramp up for 2 weeks, and he's out so he's out 6 weeks in total. It sounds like he's going to be practicing, and they want him back like week 5.
Mm-hmm.
I did draft Godwin as
like
my
last pick.
Yeah, he was late, and I had Godwin last year, and he was sick. He was like wide receiver 2 going into like week 8. But as far as Egbuka, yeah, so there's no one there. McMillan's been confirmed. He's going to be out a while.
10 weeks,
Got that bad injury. He's in a neck brace after the game.
Yeah.
They did have this rookie that's been popping off in preseason, the dude that did the backflip, Tez Johnson, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's their wide receiver 3, or at least they said he's climbing up the depth chart to be that. So yeah, it's going to be Evans and Godwin in week 1. Those are going to be your receivers out there. And the offense we saw last year,
they still have Sterling Shepard.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, he's kind of like the 3 right now. Tez dispenser.
So yeah, it's more just. I mean, I like the talent. Obviously, I watched a lot of his film. Watched preseason. Watched everyone talk him up. The coach Baker. I mean, Baker's really in on him, so that makes me even more
First
confident
round
in him.
pick.
Yeah, and then just to top it off, like it's just Evans out there week 1, so it's going to be Egbuka out there with him. And you just hope the offense is the same, even though they lost to the Jags. Cohen, their OC, right? So yeah, for Egbuka, if I had to give a line out there, I would go. I'm gonna say he's gonna border wide receiver 2 and flex. So I'll have him like mid 20s. I don't know if I have a number. I guess I'll throw out like he's going to be inside the top 30. I'll say that.
Okay.
So he's going to be I think he's
Flex option
for sure. I'm only saying that too because I think that it'll be higher the first 4 weeks. I do think they paid Godwin. They like Godwin, and I think Godwin's going to have a role when he comes back.
No, sure.
And I think
I just don't think that'll be for a while.
Egbuka being the rookie. So that's what I'm saying for season long. I'll still say he's in the top 30. And
I like that.
I think that would be a win, just being a rookie. And
he's still going pretty late.
Yeah.
So just throwing a flex option later. I like it. All right.
Get this shitty pick out of the way.
My last guy. My favorite guy. Unfortunately, did not get him in the main league. I thought for a sec I was playing everyone because it's Garrett Wilson. I got him in every other league besides the main league. And he was going late. Like, I don't know if it was more just everyone thought I was just going to take him or no one likes him. Could be either.
I don't know if it's necessarily him. I think it has a lot to do with Fields.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, I think he went in like let me pull up the draft real quick.
6th round, right?
He went in the 6th round, and he was a 2nd round pick last year. So going from Rodgers to Fields, that's pretty much the reason for the dip. He's my favorite player, I would say, in the NFL. For whatever reason, I think he's really talented. His pedigree has always been there. They want to feed this guy.
He eats targets.
He has the most targets ever in the NFL through the first 3 years of his career. And I just think he's one of the most exciting players to watch. I think he had the best catch in the NFL last year with the game in
London.
Yeah, in London, that one-handed in the back of the end zone. He's a guy I consistently root for. I saw him as won offensive rookie of the year, and I've just kind of fallen in love with him ever since. Might not have the best quarterback situation, and there's probably better picks out there. I'm not going to lie, but he is my ride or die guy for the foreseeable future. I got the jersey. I got some cards. I have stock, and he will be. This is my prediction. He will be on my main league team at some point this year. Spoiler.
Give a freaking fantasy finish, you coward.
Wide receiver 1. Okay. I will say
for the Jets.
Where did he finish last year?
Oh man, I would guess 14. Is that too high?
I'm going to cut this out and actually look this up. Okay.
He's ahead of J-Mo, right? J-Mo was like 16, 18.
Ahead of J-Mo? I don't know. He was doing great until freaking stupid Devontae Adams got there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wide receiver 13.
That's good. I said
right
14.
Below Devontae Adams. It was 12 and 13. It's kind of weird. I will say Garrett Wilson will be a top 10 receiver this year. And if that is accurate, you all owe me a sub. Everyone watching has to subscribe.
I'll buy you a different Garrett Wilson jersey.
Give me an Ohio State Garrett Wilson jersey. Yeah, he's my guy. And I don't have any other reasoning besides that.
All right, top 10 wide receiver for
top 10 Garrett Bear. Easy.
So him and Worthy are in the top 10, according to you.
Top 12.
All right, my guy. my last guy, literally my guy, we kind of went the same here. It's Jaden Daniels. I said to you the other day,
Love it.
I mean, yesterday, I was just like, I think people are overlooking Jaden. And reason I say that is because when you dive deep enough, I think when we play this game that we love, fantasy football, and you get a rookie to do this, it's like, how do you not? And if you have him also,
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone, I don't know if anybody in the league says like, I don't like Jaden. Like when you do this as a rookie, it's like you leave such an impression right away. And I'm reading up into it. He's got the second best rookie fantasy quarterback season all time, trailing only Cam, who's another guy that people just loved. And he did it in one game fewer. So who knows? What could have been. He had a crazy floor last year. I mean, I knew this. Obviously, I had him. 8 games of 24 or more points. Obviously, that's our scoring, but I'm pretty sure it was the same in standard.
It's a 5-point per passing touchdown, if that's different than the default.
And then he ended the year with, I mean, this, like I said, this is our scoring, but 32, 31, 20, 40, 32. So, like, ending the year with that, just, I mean, having him on my team, it sucked because my team was not great. Like, if I had any other quarterback, didn't get injuries, but that happens in fantasy. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping there's just even more. Like, maybe there's more. Because I do think last year, especially when he got injured, Kingsbury kind of scaled back a little bit on the designed runs.
You're talking about from earlier in the season
When he got a rib injury.
Yeah, it was against Carolina.
And then like he wasn't, and then I think he came out and said like after the game, like, let me run or something like that. It's just like second year guy, hoping they give kind of, I mean, he already has the keys to the freaking franchise, but hoping they just completely unleash him and just let him do what he wants. Like not have him not run just because you don't want him to get hurt. Like you can get hurt in any freaking
it's part of the reason why he's good.
And then yeah, he got more help this offseason. Got Debo. They added a 5-time Pro Bowler Laramie Tunsil to protect his blind side, so that's going to be his left tackle. 4th best pass blocking grade in the NFL according to PFF. So I love reading that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've said that. Terry, he got Terry back. So and they had that connection last year. So it's just, I'm almost expecting everything last year, but even more.
To the moon.
Yeah. And obviously he's my keeper. So I have him as this year's a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping him until he's a 1st.
Yeah. I mean, I think standalone keeper or without keeper value, he would definitely be a top 5 pick, I think. And even in regular leagues, I have 2 things to say about Jaden. Is he represents, I think, the tier break from the first group of quarterbacks to the second. Like if you go Allen, Lamar, Hurts, Jaden, like I feel like most people would kind of consider Jaden as that last guy. So he's good because he represents a tier break, as you can get someone as equal of value as Lamar or Josh Allen or
I think he's better than Hurts.
Or yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think in most situations he would be taken after Hurts.
Burrow.
Yeah, I think he's kind of in that in regular leagues. I'm saying like it's those 4 guys. I think
right.
So he represents a guy like definitely go get Jaden if it's like the 3rd or 4th round and all the other 3 quarterbacks are taken. Definitely get him. And the second is like I think the most impressive thing about him is he just came in and completely turned that shitty franchise around like a laughingstock of a franchise for our whole lives and to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, it was that week 3 game. Yeah, I didn't even bring that up, but like it was that week. I think it was week 3, the Cincy game.
Yeah,
dude, just freaking flying in his face. He knows he's about to get hit, and he just sits there and throws a freaking just beautiful ball to Terry.
Yep,
catches it, walk away with a win, and then from like that point on, like everyone was just like, "Oh, this dude is him." And then yeah, as you mentioned, goes and beats the team that everyone's drooling about in the NFC, the Lions, hangs hangs like 45 points on him.
Their defense was suffering at that point, but yeah, to take them out as a rookie in Detroit,
as a rookie,
yeah, that was sick. No, I love Jaden. This is a great pick. I think he represents a good value in the draft too with that tier break, and I think he has a pretty safe floor, to be honest.
Yeah, and you asked me I think that was last night, where you asked me. I think we were talking just about our quarterbacks. We were talking about Dak and Jaden, and I think you were asking me, like, would I be surprised if the Cowboys like leaped the Commanders? And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, especially from last year, as far as the standings go. So it's like the Commanders are also like they're going to have a hard schedule because they were. I mean, we actually undershot their win total. We were like, what did they win? Like 10? I was like, no, they went 12-5 after we looked at the standings. But the Eagles were like, I think a game better. So it's like playoff team. I also like. I want when I draft. Like I like having guys that are on winning teams that are going to be playing in games that
matter.
Yeah, like I don't like if I had Bryce Young, it's just like, oh man, you're just hoping for a lot. Whereas it's like Jaden, like there's going to be primetime games. It's going to be games against the best, his like opposing Jalen Hurts. Like those matchups, like, and he seems like he shines in those games. Like he elevates his game. So it's just like, love having that guy. He's my ride or die. And honestly, my prediction is QB1.
QB1 overall.
He's gonna be overall #1 quarterback.
Don't hate it. I definitely think that's in the realm of possibilities.
And I'm putting, not that this matters, but I think Lamar is gonna have another season like similar to last year, but maybe closer to like the 400 because I think he was at like 430. Well, obviously league dependent, but I think it's going to be those two that are battling for that QB1. Allen, I don't know, man. Like, obviously,
he just gets it done.
He's had his run. Yeah, he gets it done, rushing touchdowns. But like I see, like Lamar last year threw for what, 43 touchdowns, something like that, 41.
41 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards.
Right, and like Josh Allen threw for like 3,400, 3,500 yards. I don't know, maybe it was closer to like 30, but all his lines are like really low, but it's just because he's like he's their goal line back.
Yeah.
And I love Allen. Like he's just
right.
He's sick. And he has no help over there as far as like receiving. Like he has Cook, obviously, but Kincaid's been dog. Like there was so much talk about him, and so yeah, that's my bold prediction. I'm going Jaden as overall best QB.
I like it. I think there are only 5 quarterbacks that could even do that. The tier I mentioned and Burrow. But Burrow has to have like a 50 touchdown year, which he can do. But no, I like it. I think
overall QB1. Yeah, I mean, I do think like as much as I hate on Mahomes, like
No,
I'm not saying QB1, but like out of nowhere, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm saying if he goes out there and throws 40 touchdowns. Like he clearly can. I don't know if it's just their scheme. They don't air it out anymore.
That's a whole nother conversation. I think
I mean, he's fucking ranked and getting drafted as like the 6th quarterback in all these leagues. And we see that and we're just like, what? No.
I think with their full powered offense with like a full season of Rashee Rice, I think that you can make a case for that. But I think ever since Tyreek left, his fantasy stock has gone down. That's a whole nother thing.
But yeah, as far as QB1, yeah, I think it's just those
5.
Yeah.
Depending on the settings, maybe with Burrow.
Burrow, it would have to be like
50, like a Peyton Manning.
It would have to be, not only would it have to be like insane, but like,
which is possible.
The other quarterbacks would have to take a step back.
Yeah. I mean, Burrow was, I think, QB top 3 last year. So, all right. Those are our guys. What are we calling these?
Ride or dies, our favorite
surefire players. And yeah, so you guys know our guys, and you will be riding with them, riding with us as the season goes on.
And at the end of the year, y'all will either laugh in our faces or be like, yo, hot route.
Yeah, hold up. Who are these guys?
Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 5?
Yeah, I wouldn't shock
This
me
guy
at
was
all.
on a lone island over here, and he picked it.
That's why I like it even more, to be honest. I'm just feeding into it at this point. Okay, so to end it off, we're going to talk about the draft trip a little bit.
Mhm.
We have a full, I don't know when this is going to be posted, but
Yeah, throw that out there.
a full draft vlog coming.
It's coming at some point.
Yeah. I'm not even going to put a timeline out there. How about that? You're just going to have to wait till it gets posted. But just have a few notes here. We're going to talk about just a couple favorite moments.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably just run through our teams real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about maybe some other. I have the draft board pulled up right here, so I'll just kind of mention a couple picks that I thought were either questionable or really good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at mine.
Yeah. So as you're looking, we'll talk about just the favorite parts of the trip.
Yeah.
Every year we do a certain type of amount of games to determine our draft order. They've pretty much been different every single year. This year, Eric put together kind of a structure based off the show The Challenge, where we do a bunch of different games and you can eliminate people or choose people to go into elimination based off of where they finish.
Right.
It was okay. I think with more structure and more like buy-in from everyone else, I think it could have went a little bit better.
Yeah, shout out Wood. Getting a lot of hate.
It was great.
A lot of hate from the league mates.
It was good.
I liked it, Wood.
Just something different. And then also we had one of our guys, Lil Jay, go down with a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, that was the sour.
During one of the games. He's fine now. But
yeah, did you read his text?
Yes.
MRI.
Yeah, no surgery
needed.
Shout out Lil Jay. So that kind of sucked the wind out of everyone. But we ended up finishing it and we got the order. It was all good. But that was cool. And then obviously the draft was sick. You want to talk about the internet?
Yeah, so I mean, no complaints at all. Like the trip was great for so many reasons.
I will never complain about that trip.
I don't know.
We will make anything work.
I don't know how many times I told Eric, or like, I mean, you probably know it now for the most part, at least in like things like that. Like there were moments where there was just arguing happening about rule changes and
things.
That's
classic with our group.
I'm just sitting there on the couch. I'll glance at Kev and just like smile. I'll look at Eric and see how like irritated he's getting. And I'm just looking at everyone else in the room. Like, I'm just so, with certain things, I can be like more opinionated, but I feel like with stuff like that, I was just letting them go at it. But like, I never have complaints. I told Eric so many times that I was like, dude, I liked it. I thought it was great, his whole draft thing. But as far as like you mentioned the internet, so I think, was it like the first night we were just like, yo, this might be bad?
Yeah, we just tried to all connect.
I think the first day we just tried connecting to the internet and it showed up like the main router was there. Then it had like an extension one. I was like, dude, I don't even see like another router or like an extender anywhere in the home. And we were in Tahoe, so obviously there's not great service where we were at. We were in like a cabin. And I was going to also mention, because I was saying no complaints, like we got this for free through one of our one of our league mates. Like he, through a boss's friend or something like that, like they just hooked it up for us. So it's like, who am I to go and complain about something when like this whole thing was free?
We just figure it out.
Yeah. And so we found out day one, like, okay, this internet is bad. And then everything in the home is just ancient. Like they got like a TP-Link router with like little antennas. It looks like robotic. They had a PlayStation 2 in the home. Like
sick.
There's a lot of old stuff in the home, but like we tried connecting and we are like, yo, this might not work. We tried like airplane to the TV just to test it out, and like nothing was connecting. So I think it was just me, you, and Eric sitting there, and we're like, yo, we might need to
do something.
Look into another place. And like I was bringing up like a hotel, like looking up like conference rooms and hotels. Eric was looking up workspaces because that's kind of what he does when he's working like from home or from back in the Bay. And then I know you were looking at like Marriott because of that
got some points.
Yeah, the points.
Yeah.
So we ended up finding, I think, was it Eric or you that found the
Eric
place?
did.
Found like just a coffee shop downtown. Chupa's coffee, Cuppa, what was it?
Cuppa.
Yeah, Cuppa's coffee, and
Shout out Cuppa Tahoe.
they had like a workspace or something that Eric saw, and you could like reserve it online.
Actually, sick as fuck.
Yeah, there was actually two. So there was one that was like walk in, right?
One was walk in that was $3
An hour
an hour, and then the one that was
reserved.
$25 an hour. You had to actually reserve a time.
Yeah,
for.
so we were just like Eric saw it, and it was late at night because like they weren't open, and he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna book it. I'll call in the morning." And so obviously the plan was to draft at this cabin, the home we were staying at, and we were like, "Yo, this isn't gonna work." And like I feel like no one else was even paying attention. Like it was
we all just kind of told him like, "Hey, we're doing this."
Yeah,
now.
it was just us.
Like, all right.
It was just us three that were like, "Yo, this is gonna be a problem." Like, none
I
of
think
us.
everyone was making food, or they were.
Yeah,
all making
they were just doing their own shit. And then once again, shout out Eric again for he ended up finding this place, reserved it, called in the morning. And we had this place from like 2 to 7 or something like that, or 1 to 7, something like that.
Yeah, like 5 hours.
And we ended up drafting. Yeah, it was like you said, sick ass place, private room,
soundproof,
private room,
like little booth or office.
We're just sitting at this huge table.
Yeah.
We couldn't get the camera to work. That part kind of sucked because we couldn't see John and Gail, but we kind of just used the tripods that we use here in the loft, and we just flipped the phone around so we could see them. And
that was actually funny as hell.
Hearing their voices and like they'd be their pick and we'd be like, "Hey, you're up."
Yeah.
And so yeah, draft was super fun. We were all just sitting around with our computers at the table, looking at our boards, and
yeah, just like any normal draft that we
it worked out totally fine. We ended up like cutting out like 2 hours early, and the lady, the barista or whatever, was just like, "Oh no," like she felt bad. She's like, "We're gonna charge you." We were like, "It's $25 an hour." Like once we all
made me think like they don't get that much.
Yeah,
like reserved.
And then like I had a couple interactions with people that are like, "What are you doing in there?" Like everyone's in football jerseys. And even the lady after, when me and Eric were walking out, she was just like, "I bet you it was a fantasy football draft." And we were like, "Yep." We're all literally in jerseys.
Shocker.
But yeah, I mean, that was probably my favorite part. I was gonna say the gulag. I said that at the trip too. What were we calling it? The gauntlet. The gauntlet. That was fun. Obviously, I took third. I was in the final round, and I just
the games, right?
Yeah, and I ended up taking third, so that was fun. Obviously, it let me.
Fuck you, by the way. Hold on. We need to pause this for a second.
Thank me for getting that.
I got the same pick. So basically, how it works is we play all these games, and if you get like in the top 2 or top 1, you get to pick someone that didn't finish in the top half or bottom half to go into elimination to get a strike to then eventually get eliminated. This motherfucker picked me like 3 times for no reason, but eventually I think I would have got the same pick I wanted anyway. It's for the choice of pick. It's not like the exact pick you get. So
it's also because the guy who took second, which is our former champ, Michael.
Yeah.
He just said, "I'm going to take 8th" when it was his turn to pick, and we're all just like, "Okay." So then it went to me at 3, and I was like, "All right, I guess I'll take 2. I'll just take Chase," because we knew Eric was going to take Alan. And then was it Rick?
Me.
Well, Rick went after. Oh no, yeah,
no, it was Kevin 4th. He picked 5th, and then I picked 4th.
Rick was 3rd,
and then Rick picked 3rd.
Yeah. So when it got to you, you were the 5th selection, because I was the 3rd.
Yes.
Kev was 4th. Kev chose to pick 5. So then when it got to you, you had you had 3 and 4 at your.
Literally, these games are kind of only the deciding factor for who gets first picked, and then everyone else kind of gets the pick they want. It's kind of what I've noticed. But you want to run through your team real quick?
Yeah. Let me go here. I had it up. I only have it by my team, but I pretty much know for the most part who was taken around that. I like my team. The only thing I'll really spend time on is the jersey I'm wearing. Everything I said in all of our videos
it's a lie
about doing what basically he did and like kind of waiting on a tight end. The reason being here is I looked at it. I got Chase right away, so I was just like,
super flex league to reiterate.
Yeah, and
with keepers.
Jaden was already kept. I ended up taking Kittle in the 5th, so the round after.
First tight end taken, right?
Jaden.
Yeah, because Bowers was kept. He was the first tight end taken in the 5th round.
And I already.
Or wait, yeah.
That was already a value for me. Like,
Mhm.
I think Kittle is worthy of a 3rd rounder.
Mhm.
But the reason being I went here is because I got Chase. I already had 2 running backs. I went Taylor, Bucky as my like swing back picks in the 2nd and 3rd round, and then Jaden was my quarterback. So I was just like, okay, I wasn't going to draft a 3rd running back, and then I got Chase. So I'm just like, I almost count Chase as like getting 2 solid receivers because he's just that good. And my thought process here was, if I go for another receiver, like, I don't remember who was necessarily around at that time. It'd be a wide receiver.
What pick?
It would have been
Your
4th.
Kittle pick?
Yeah, 40.
You had Marv to look at. You had Devontae Adams, Sutton, Tet, J-Mo, Garrett Wilson.
Okay, right.
She rise.
So what I did, like, when I made the decision, I saw J-Mo there, and I was just like, okay, he might be there in my next pick. But I went with Kittle just because I figured a lot of those wide receiver 2s, like especially some of the ones that you named, I was just like, it's going to be the same as drafting whenever all those guys get taken and whoever's left in that tier. And I was just like, I'd rather just have the best or one of the top tier guys at a new position that no one's taken yet, since I've already have my other positions.
Yeah.
And I was just like, screw it.
At that point, it was a value.
Give me Kittle.
Yeah.
And I already thought it was a value.
Yeah.
And then Trevor wanted him, I guess, that round or that pick.
He mentions in his post-draft things that you can go fuck yourself. He took Kittle. It was funny.
So, yeah, everything I've said about tight end, pretty much out the window, but it was only going to be Kittle.
Hey, you adapt during the draft.
It was only going to be Kittle.
That's a lesson in itself.
Like, McBride was sitting there, and I was just like, no. Like, I got a Kittle jersey. I'm a Niner fan. He was, 3 to 5 points off of McBride's score.
Yeah, we talked about that. All 3 of those guys we think are the same tier.
And so I was just like, yo, if I could because I wanted, if you've been watching, CMC, like, he was a guy that I was going to say be all in, and got some Niner stock. So, yeah, I went Kittle there. Then, yeah, my quarterback 2 is going to be sus. I took a shot on Cam Ward. That's kind of where by going Kittle and then doubling up on receiver, there was no quarterbacks left. And so I took a shot on Cam Ward, but 2 rounds later, I took Stafford to just, I think he's going to give at least quarterback 2 numbers.
I think you make a case for any of these quarterbacks in these rounds to be a top 20 QB2.
Yeah, and the only other interesting thing that I was going to mention was that in the 10th round, Eric and me. So Eric went pick 1, I went pick 2. So when it came back, I think I went Stafford, and then Eric went Jaguar running back. He went Bigsby and ETN, and I had already had Tootin in mind. I've taken a shot on him just because
Scootin' Tootin'.
I think there was something that came out that said ETN or Tank, the team would probably want to look to trade one of those guys. And Tootin is the regime's pick. He was drafted under this guy. The coach has already mentioned how much he likes him. And so me and Eric went Jaguars running back, Jaguars running back, Jaguars running back in 3
Probably never
picks.
been done before ever in any draft.
And it was hilarious because I went up there to put Eric's picks up because he was inputting all the names. And he was like, give me ETN and Bigsby. And I was just like, all right, I'm going Tootin. And he's like, what? Really? And then he hated it because he's like, what do you know that I don't know? But yeah, other than that, just took a shot on Ollie Gordon later in the draft. And
Godwin, like you mentioned. Diggs. I didn't even know you had Diggs. Dobbins, who you brought up in a past episode.
Yeah. Dobbins. But my starting lineup, I just feel like those are going to be the guys that I'm going to play every week. I've never... Devontae Smith.
10-team league, it's probably rare that There may be one spot where you would be switching out, but most of these guys are going to be locked and loaded.
I mean, when I compare it to last year,
Maybe your QB2, you might be swapping in and out with Ward and
for sure. Like
Ward and Stafford.
I drafted Cam Ward 2 rounds before Stafford,
Yeah.
but I'm playing Stafford
based
week
off
1.
who they're playing.
Cam's playing the Denver Broncos week 1, and I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah. Took Mixon, so that's going to be a...
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you don't need him, so it doesn't really affect you that much.
No, yeah, I like
it just takes away a dart throw at someone else that
like
you
my
could have
running
done,
backs.
but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
And then, yeah, like the players I've already mentioned, I wanted J-Mo, I wanted Egbuka. It's mostly receivers.
Mhm.
Didn't I would have liked Tet, but way later. I
Mhm.
wasn't gonna spend that early of a draft pick on him.
Right.
There's mostly J-Mo, Egbuka. I don't think there was any other guys really that I was like, dang, I really wanted him. It's kind of just those two. I mean,
No, I like your team.
I mean CMC, but I knew once I got
Pick 2, you would.
yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, that's out the window.
No, I like your team.
If it means anything, ESPN has my team. I think it was number 1 as the power ranking, but we all know how that works. Yeah, I'm number 1. But to be honest, I don't even agree with that. Like, there's a couple of other guys, like we probably won't get into their teams that much, but there's a couple other teams that, especially if certain guys hit, I'm just like, I like their team better than my team.
Yeah, you just kind of. I mean, a lot of these dart throws do matter. You saw last year with Brian Thomas. You saw it with Chuba Hubbard, guys that you probably wouldn't even think twice about. And I'm sure there's someone sitting here right now that I'm looking at that none of us are even going to see coming. But no, I like your team for sure. I think it's definitely one of the top half, 10-team league. It's definitely in the top half. My team is okay. So basically what I did was I was fixated on getting an elite running back and kind of just going from there. I definitely know my keeper was Baker, and I wanted to get one elite running back and kind of stack receivers after that was my plan, and get a solid to good, like better than solid QB2. So I ended up getting 4th. I took Bijan. I don't think I would have done this actually differently looking back at it now. I did after the first couple days, because I could have went a little bit. I could have chose to go later and maybe got Gibbs or even Saquon, and then I would have had a pick I could choose people from more in the second round. I could Bijan and then Puka, which you guys, I've mentioned a few times that I'm not a huge Puka fan, but I'm trying to talk myself into him more and more as I'm looking at like other people's opinions on him on the internet.
Yeah, you surprised me twice in the draft.
As the draft season comes to a close. Yeah, that pick I definitely was hoping, like, I guess it was really just Amon-Ra, or not Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Nico I had dreams was coming to me, but he went 8th overall, which I thought was crazy. And AJ Brown. So not to say that Puka can't finish above those guys. It's just that I just don't see Puka as a sexy pick. We've talked about like having fun watching people on Sunday, and I don't know if I'm gonna have fun watching him or not.
You had London there. You just weren't.
I couldn't do that because I just don't want to cap my upside of taking 2 people from the same team with my first 2 picks. That didn't seem right. Although I do love Drake London. So that was whatever. And then on the swing, I got Dak as my QB2. So I took Dak over some guys like Bo Nix, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy. I mean, Herbert, Lawrence, McCarthy.
Don't throw Lawrence in there.
Who?
Said don't throw Lawrence in there. Dak was QB4 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
I talked about Dak was he was my value pick. Obviously, this does not apply here because it's a 2 quarterback league. But I just think it's set up for him to do awesome this year. As kind of like a budget Joe Burrow, I'm hoping, where they added Pickens. They have no running game. CeeDee's there. They just lost Micah Parsons, so they're going to be ideally getting scored on more and having to throw more. So I think Dak's pretty safe as long as he stays healthy. We'll see about that. And then on the swing back around the 4th round, I got Mike Evans. So he was definitely a guy that, for me, with this specific team, that I wanted no matter what. I feel like I don't even know if I reached for him. I think he probably was just going right where he went, like, or was supposed to go, to pair up with Baker with the stack. And then I was going to take another receiver at this next spot in round 5, but there was no one that really caught my eye. Marv just went right before me. I probably would have considered him, but Ken Walker was sitting there as kind of a tier above everyone else that was left for me. So I went Ken. So I'm pretty balanced at this point. Oh, wait, no. No, Marv was not there. Oh, no, he was. So this is when things kind of went a little wonky. So I was hoping after this pick, I was like, all right, I see JMO there. I obviously see Garrett Wilson. I had to wait like 12 picks where some of these guys already had 1 to 2 receivers. So I was hoping one of them got back to me, which of course they didn't. 3 picks and 2 picks right before me. JMO and Garrett Wilson went. So I was faced with a situation where this is a great example of, I don't know if it would have made it. Yeah, it probably would have made a difference if I knew the exact suspension of Rashee Rice, where if I knew he was out for the first 6 games, I probably wouldn't have even looked at him. But I got baited with the reports of he was going to supposedly play the first 4 games. And I was like, all right, I mean, I'll just throw him in my flex and just hope that I could either one of these dart throws I get later will eventually be a starter or whatever. So I took Rice with Devontae Smith there, with Xavier Worthy there, with DK Metcalf still there. Those are really, I think, the only 3 guys, because I had the swing pick back around really quick. If I would have did it again, I would have took Worthy for sure. Basically the same situation as you. He would have been in my flex, and I think that's an awesome situation to have. So it is what it is. And then I got, just skimming through the last picks here, I got 3 rookies: RJ Harvey, Matthew Golden, Tyler Warren, which I mentioned. So I was
Worthy was my 3rd receiver taken. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, back to back.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping one of those hits, because Harvey, none of these guys besides Warren will be in my starting lineup. Golden, RJ Harvey, and Tyler Warren. If one of those guys returns more value than their ADP shows, Golden's supposedly the wide receiver 1 for Love. We'll see what happens with RJ Harvey in that backfield, but was happy to get those guys. And then other guys, I got Tyrone Tracy in the 12th round, which I thought was pretty good. I mean, he's not really that exciting of a pick, but he's a starting running back. He's literally in my starting lineup week 1 in the flex.
Locked in?
Definitely not locked in. Then I got shitty Jordan Addison. My wide receiver room is just filled with DUIs. So that was based on the Rashee Rice pick, which I don't even know if I would have taken anyone else at that point anyway. Or like I didn't really have my eye on really anybody at that time, but I was hoping that I could play Rashee Rice for 4 weeks and then Addison will be there when he gets suspended. So clearly that didn't work out, but we'll see. But yeah, no, I'm basically just relying on my 2 quarterbacks, Baker and Dak, to be pocket passers and throw for 30 touchdowns each, which I feel is possible. And then relying on Bijan to just be him and Puka. And hopefully one of these dart throws hits. But I would consider my team pretty mid compared to the other teams, at least to start. Obviously, see how all the rookie situations work out. And, fantasy, just things happen really quick that you don't expect. So
I like the Addison pick.
Yeah, I'm desperately hoping for that week 3 to come, because he's going to be like my top. If Golden or Harvey is not ready by then, Addison's going right in my flex when that happens. But
I think Packers got a really light schedule though to start. So I think you like that.
I can't throw him in. I just can't do it. I want to play Harvey. I want to play Golden this first week because Tracy's playing the Commanders. I don't know. That's a whole nother situation. We'll talk about it on our week 1 preview.
No Debo shout out?
I didn't mention Debo. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a sexy pick. I feel like I took him a little early, actually. 9th round. I was thinking with Brian Robinson gone, maybe they have, like what I said in the beginning of this episode, maybe they liked what they've saw from Debo in camp so far, and they can give him some carries out of the backfield, and maybe he can do what he did a couple years ago. So just another wide receiver depth.
When did you
slash
take
flex.
Golden?
8th. The 8th. Which was early. For sure.
Oh, there he is. Dude, I was in double digits.
Yeah, no, I think that when I walked up to the board, I was like, this is my BTJ pick from last year because wide receiver 1 in a high-powered offense. There's no clear alpha there. Not to say is, but first-round pick, burner, big play guy.
So once you get, there's like, it's like bad, good, bad for Golden.
What does that mean?
The matchups they play.
Oh,
But the first 2 are home. I feel like they always play the Lions well. So the Lions is week 1. But then you got the Commanders who had like a really bad defense last year.
yeah, it'll be
But then
nice.
it's at Cleveland. But then you get Dallas and Cincinnati back to back.
Yeah, hopefully by that time, I really just don't want to throw the rookies in. It's just week 1 because Lord knows what could happen. I'm going to get you're going to see really quick like what these rookies are, especially the ones that were drafted high, like if they're going to be, obviously not like Tootin or maybe the Browns guy like Dylan Sampson or, I don't know, Jaden Higgins, like those low guys, they might take a little while to.
I would say after that week 2 game, you'll get a probably good idea.
For sure.
After Washington, because those are 2 home games. Washington, not a great defense. Like, we'll see what Golden is after those 2 games.
For sure.
And
But
Jaden Reed is even.
He's hurt.
Yeah, so
He's walking around with no, they got nobody. That's why I
well, they
reached.
still have Dobbs and Wicks.
Doesn't really.
And the GM, I think, came out the last couple days and said he wanted to shut all the rumors up about team trading Romeo Dobbs.
Oh, I love Dobbs he's always been like a waiver guy for fantasy, but
yeah,
they spent a first-round pick on this guy. Like clearly they wanted him. So
and then Watson's starting the year on PUP.
He's always hurt. He's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But no, it's nothing that I can't build off of, but we'll see. I'm excited for week 1, obviously. Like we've already
very close.
Looked at all the matchups and all that. Our next show will be about week 1. We're going to talk about matchups. We have a DFS segment.
Yes.
Which we're bringing in a special guest for. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but
yeah, so you'll see this on Tuesday. So 2 days before kickoff.
Yeah. Our week 1 preview is going to come out on Thursday.
Yeah. So our subs, we love you. If you want to check out our video before Thursday, we'll have a whole Thursday like a game preview of the Eagles and
Dallas
Cowboys.
Yeah.
We'll probably pick like winners and just, I mean, we each got some stock in those games, so we'll talk about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that video we'll record Tuesday and it'll be posted on Thursday.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Anything else?
No, it's hot, dude.
It is hot. So let's get the hell out of here. We will see you guys
2 days.
In 2 days, which will be Tuesday. And then we'll
Thursday
see you
for
again
y'all.
Thursday. Peace, y'all.
Jane Daniels. Keep
I was about to say Gary Wilson.
All right, y'all. Peace.